All right, guys, how you doing? Happy New Year. We have a new Cash App video, and this one's going to involve the Straw Hats from One Piece. It was sent in by Soldier of Krypton, and he wants to know what the Straw Hats would be like as VIZARDS. What would their abilities be, and how would their Ceros and Sonidos work? Full disclosure, I'm not super in-depth in Bleach, so if I get something wrong in the comment section, please let me know. However, we're going to go through every Straw Hat to see exactly what they would be like if they had hollow powers. This is also going to be a long video, so I appreciate you guys for watching it. And I'm going to also post it on the Red Button website too. So just in case you guys want to check it out there, feel free to do so. Starting off with the Captain Monkey D. Luffy, I see him having a really creepy looking smiling hollow mask. And we're going to go into his abilities. His regular ability is going to be called Drums of Liberation. It is literally just going to be his heartbeat letting off some of his spiritual pressure, which is going to disrupt the spiritual energy of all of those enemies around him. However, that same beat from his heartbeat is going to bolster his allies, making them even stronger than they already are. As for his Zero, it's going to be a free-form Zero, meaning that he's going to be able to use his power of imagination to shape his Zero however he wants to shape it, with any form, shape, or any kind of functionality he wants it to have. Now, when it comes to Zoro and his hollow mask, I believe his hollow mask should be something like the head of the Living Tribunal. Which, how the Living Tribunal has 3 different faces, and we know that's how Zoro looks when he goes into his Ashura form. I feel like a mask like that would really suit him. And his Zero is going to be a little bit different. He's going to be able to coat his swords in basically the Zero energy, which is going to massively bolster his cutting power, as well as just amplifying all of his abilities when it comes to his sword techniques. For example, when he does his Black Dragon Twister, instead of just having a bunch of wind slashes, it's going to be just a tornado of Zero energy just slicing his opponent to ribbons. Not to mention, he'll also be able to send out his Zero Blast in forms of flying slashes. Next, we have Nami. I'm going to have her wear somewhat of a witch-like bone mask. Unlike Luffy and Zoro, I'm going to talk about Sonido with her, because Luffy and Zoro are already extremely fast in their own right. And I believe with this, Nami would be much more of a formidable opponent if she were to have a Sonido. Sonido, in my opinion, is essentially like Flash Stepping or Body Flicker or Seru from One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach. And as far as her hollow ability, we're going to call it Cat Burglar. Her being able to pretty much siphon somebody's spiritual energy away from them just by physical contact. And this will feed into her Zero ability I call Zero Storm, in which she will be able to feed Zeus a condensed ball of spiritual energy, in which he will basically rise into the sky, create a giant cloud, and make it rain like Zero raindrops, which are all just pretty much mini Zeros going off when they hit the ground, while simultaneously raining down spiritual power as lightning bolts to create the whole storm effect. Next, we have Sanji, who's going to straight up have a devil mask with flaming hair. I'm going to call Sanji's hollow ability Kickstart, which I modeled after the combo star from Seven Deadly Sins that Darui had used when she was able to make her attack stronger and stronger the more she lands them. I'm going to call Sanji Zero the Zero Full Body, in which he pretty much just coats his legs in the Zero energy and uses that to strike his opponents. And thanks to his ability Kickstart, his Zero will grow stronger and stronger the more he attacks his opponent, until he's ready to fire it off in a massive blast from his legs. Then we come to God Usopp, who I said is going to have a hollow mask that's going to have a crosshair on one of his eyes. And his hollow ability is going to be called Fear Sharing, in which he is able to share his fear with his enemies and pretty much send them into panic with all this sense of dread that he feels on a daily basis. His Zero is going to be called the Zero Sniper, or the Zero Slingshot, in which he is able to use his spiritual power to charge his shots from his slingshot to increase its range, power, as well as destructive capability, as well as increasing his already immense accuracy. Next, we have Jinbei, the Knight of the Sea. With Jinbei, I wanted to incorporate his Fishman karate style when it comes to spiritual pressure and stuff of that nature, in which he's going to be able to control the flow of spiritual pressure in his opponent's body. Meaning that he's still able to use his Fishman karate on people. Instead of just attacking the water in their body, he's also going to be able to attack their souls in that same manner. His Zero is going to be called Zero Oceanus, in which he is able to literally just emit this spiritual pressure in the form of flowing water, which is going to change the battlefield to create somewhat of a small ocean. Those who are trapped in this ocean will lose some of their spiritual pressure to Jinbei, and he is able to still create constructs out of this water-like spiritual pressure in order to fire these constructs off like actual Zero beams. Then we have Chopper, who I'm going to give pretty much just a bona fide deer's mask. Chopper's hollow ability is going to be called Spiritual Healing, in which he is able to create a veil in which all of his allies that are inside of that veil get healed instantly from their wounds. His Cetro is going to be Cetro Mimicry, in which he is able to copy the Cetro powers of any of his allies that are inside of that veil that are getting healed. And that power is multiplied by 10 for each member of his crew that is inside of that veil. So yeah, then we have Brook, whose mask is just going to be his face, and his hollow ability is going to be called Underworld Stroll, which is going to be another take on his Sunito, which he's not only able to move extremely fast, his Sunito is going to take him to a spiritual realm of his own, which is going to allow him to just walk past enemies like he does in his own anime, while simultaneously being able to still make physical contact with them. His Cetro is going to be called Cetro Musica, which is essentially just going to be him being able to strum his guitar, create notes out of Cetro energy, and then fire them off, with the added benefit of when they explode, they create a sonic attack in the note that he sends out. Then we have General Frankie, who I honestly just couldn't help but picture him with like a Decepticon logo somewhere on his mask. His hollow ability is going to be called Indestructible, in which he's going to be able to pretty much use his spiritual pressure to create a kind of like defensive barrier around himself that gets stronger the more that it's attacked. All of that power that gets stronger from his attacked shield will pretty much factor into his Cetro, which is going to be Cetro Radical Artillery, in which every single one of Frankie's weapon is going to be bolstered by the power of his spiritual energy, and it's just going to hit a whole lot harder, explode a whole lot bigger, and move a whole lot faster. And last but not least, we are going to have Nico Robin, who I'm pretty much just going to call the Puppeteer, in which she's going to be able to use her spiritual pressure in order to pretty much control the actions of those around her. Enemies, allies, it really doesn't matter. And her Cetro is going to be called El Mano del Diablo. Pretty much she's able to conjure like gigantic hands of Cetro energy, or just gigantic hands in general, and just fire them off, like fire her Cetro off from the fingertips, as well as firing off a gigantic one from the palm of the hand itself. And she can do this with however many hands that she can create. Jeez, okay, I'm finally done. This is a long video. I appreciate anybody that's watched through this entire thing, and I love you guys. Happy New Year. Leave a comment what you guys want to see next. Hit that follow button, leave a like. Share this video. I would greatly appreciate it. Have a great new year. Peace.